You can't find your voice if you don't use it. That is our quote of the week. Hey everyone, welcome to Coffee Chat with Danny, where we are live every Monday, 8:15-ish, bringing you tips, tools, motivation to get you started for the week, right? It's the time to shift the mindset, get clear, get focused, and ready to take action in this new week, ready to live on purpose, ready to honor your best self. So for those of you that don't know me, that are new here, hi, my name is Danny, and I am the owner, founder of The Amazing Consulting and the Empowered You community, where we come together like-minded professionals, entrepreneurs who are ready to be the boss of their life, who are ready to take that wheel and really honor their best self. So this is Monday Motivation. So grab your coffee, grab your tea, protein shake, water, whatever you're drinking, because it's started. All right, so I'm super excited today because here's the thing. I struggled with finding my voice for a long time. Like, I say this about a lot of different things, but this is one of the things that even till this day, I sometimes struggle with finding my voice, using my voice, right? And when I say that, so let's be clear when I say that, what I'm referring to is speaking your opinion, speaking your mission, speaking your brand, speaking your business, communicating to others what's going on up here, right? I know for a while, I would not express to others how I was feeling. This goes back to some of the ideas that I wanted to be perfect, right? I think I've told that story before where I thought I had to be perfect, right? And so I never wanted to express my opinion about something because then people would know more about me and then people might judge me. I don't want that to happen, right? So what did I do? Well, I'm going to walk you through some things today. But first, I want to tell you, you might see people, you might even see me and be like, wow, how is she able to do that? And I can tell you, I look at other people and I'm like, wow, look at how amazing they are, right? Somebody may be looking at you saying the same exact thing. But we see these people really speaking their brand, really speaking their mission, really speaking their opinion and who they are. And they're so confident, they're so expressive, so relatable. And you can really dive in and see like, wow, like I get this person, right? Or, people are doing a lot of Facebook Live. Live video is huge right now. Video in general is big, right? And so what happens is we see these interactions, we see these people, Instagram stories, for example, Facebook, for example, and we think like, wow, they just got everything together. Like they just have this voice, they just have this mission, and we know what their mission is, we know what their brand is, we know what they're doing. We respect them. We want to buy from them oftentimes, right? Because we feel like they're our family. We feel like they're our friend, right? I had the greatest compliment I could have ever gotten. And it was a girl I just met once at a networking event, and she had been watching my videos, and she saw me, and she's like, I feel like you're my sister. I feel like you're my friend, Like, that was the biggest compliment I could have ever gotten. And you know why? Because I felt like at that moment that I was conveying my message to her. Like I was that confident person. I was the one that could help her, right? So awesome. So the thing is when we're able to do that, when we're able to express ourselves and to share our opinions and thoughts and ideas and to share our mission, to share our brand, right? If we're a business, right? What happens? People are attracted to us. People want to come to us. People want to buy from us, right? So how do we do that though? How does that How does that work? Because I know you have a mission. I know you have an opinion. You have thoughts and ideas and beliefs that you might not be sharing. And you might be thinking, how do I find what my voice is? Right? Well, I'm going to tell you one thing today that I believe is the first step into being able to communicate on any level. And whether that is from a brand perspective, where you're presenting your business lives, or whether you're on Instagram stories or Instagram live or video, YouTube, whatever it is that you're doing, right? Or even if you're in person. Okay, think about this. When you're in person and you're just communicating with somebody, whether that's at a networking event, whether that's at work, whether that's just with your family and friends even, right? And you have that feeling where you stop and you don't say what you want to say. You stop yourself from saying anything. Wouldn't you want, or don't you want to feel like you can express that? I know I did. I can tell you a couple weeks ago, I was at an event and I was volunteering actually, and some people were talking and happened to come on in and join in on the conversation, and I was just feeling the vibe of everything, right? And so I was, sharing some different things, and then this one particular topic came up, and for some people it could be a sensitive topic, right? It could be religious, it could be political, it could be about relationships, and spirituality, right? And there's all these different ideas that people have different opinions, different thoughts, different beliefs about. It's awesome, right? And so I'm standing there, listening, and they asked my opinion on something. Well, I had made a comment, and so they asked a question about it because it was a little bit different than I think what they thought. And as the words started coming out of my mouth within one or two words, I felt this judgment start to come in around me. And immediately I caved in, my shoulders came in, my head went down, and I felt like I couldn't express my opinion because it was maybe different from what they believe. So as I was kind of cradling in, right, I was thinking to myself, I should stop. I shouldn't say anything anymore. And then it was like, no, I should stand up for this. I should stand for what I believe. And I'm going to battle them. I'm going to debate them, right? I'm going to go to this battle. And I thought for just a slight second, as I was ready to go into battle, I thought for a moment and I said, what one question can I ask that would completely change their opinion or might just cause this slight little, right? This slight little idea of maybe there could be something else. There could be another opinion. Maybe her opinion is okay. I didn't have to battle. I didn't have to shrink either. I could just ask the question. And so I did. I saw, how there's a great book, and I can't remember the title, but Micro Expressions. Like, we have these small, subtle little expressions. If you watch any videos, if you even watch me, you'll see some of my subtle micro expressions that might change. And you see that when you're really in tune with somebody and you're paying attention. And I would highly recommend when you're in a conversation to pay attention to these things where there's these little movements, right, of the face. And I could see these little eyebrows, right? Little eyebrows, their eyes, little wrinkles, like little movements, small, tiny little movements. And I thought, okay. I hit them. I hit them not to battle them, right? But I hit them in a way that they're like, interesting. They were curious about it, right? So how was I able to do that and to stand, because I was still standing in my truth. I was still standing in my power. I wasn't putting down in any way, and I wasn't battling in any way. I wasn't forcing anything on anybody, because everybody is entitled to their own opinion, right? All I was doing was showing them that there may just be another way to think about it. Not saying you have to, but open up that awareness, right? So how am I able to do that? How was I in that moment able to do that when maybe even 5 years ago, I couldn't? And maybe even less than that, maybe even 3 years ago, I might not have been able to do that quite as well. I might have either cowered in, which is what I tended to do. I tended to cower it in and not even express it in the first place. So how do we do this? How do we express? How do we find what our voice is? The one thing that I'm going to tell you to do, and it's the one thing that I started to do slowly and slowly and slowly, and even to this day, I really am make sure that I'm checking in with this in any situation. And that is, you've got to start with knowing who you are. You've got to know what you believe. You've got to know what your values are. You've got to know what you like, what you dislike. And I'm talking on any level, whether this is business, whether this is professional, whether this is just in person with your friends and family, local, like just acquaintances even, right? You've got to know what your opinion is, because you've got to know, but you've got to get that from knowing who you are, what you believe in, right? In order to form your opinion about something, that first has to check in to say, what do I believe about this? Not, what did I hear about this? Or what are they saying about this? What do I believe about this? Right? Because here's the thing, people are going to judge, people are going to disagree, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay. As long as you are standing in what you know is true, that is finding your voice. It's finding what you believe. It's finding what you value. Right? If I start talking about politics, let's say, that's a hot topic for everyone. If I start talking about politics, but I have no idea what really is going on, if I'm just taking what everybody is saying and what I'm hearing and not really looking into what is actually being said, what is actually being done, what I really believe, right? And what hits with me, what I think is okay, what I think is right, then I can make an opinion and then I can express it. But if I'm just allowing, right, for a long time, I was into a particular religion. I was Catholic, right? And I was very much so a Catholic, right? I studied and I attended church on a weekly basis, and I was involved in things. And when I started, I was saying these things, but I didn't 100% believe them. And so I had to think, what do I believe? What do I truly believe about this, right? I was kind of saying verbatim what others around me were saying in the community, right? But what was I saying that was true to me, right? And then it was like, oh, so then I started doing my own research. I started doing my own reading. I started discovering my own stuff. And then I was able to interpret things. I was able to say things based on what I knew now. Not what other people had told me, not what the common phrases or the common language was, but what I truly believed and what I knew I could speak to. For everything, whether that's relationships, whether that's politics, religion, spirituality, healthcare, food, whatever that is that you believe in, whatever it is that you value, That is where your voice is going to come from. It's going to come from knowing what that is. If you don't know what that is, your first step is to discover what that is to find out what it is that you value, what is it that you love, what is it that makes you happy, what is it that you believe in, what is it you think is right? What do you think is right? Right? Not what others are saying. That's how you begin to find your voice in this noisy world. This world is noise. Noisy, they're saying at you. Our attention is always wanting to be taken from us. But when we know what we believe, what we truly believe, not what others are telling us, right? When we truly know what that is when we can start to find our voice. That is when we can then start to use our voice, right? But in order to get there, you have to start discovering and using it when you can. When there's things that right now that you know, that you are, this I know and this I believe, that's where you start, right? That's where you start with the things that you know to be 100% true for you. That's where you start, and you start using it, and you start to see, okay, all right, now I can move into the next thing, and I can discover about that. And when people come to you and they ask you for your opinion on it, and you're not quite sure because you've only heard things, but you haven't really researched yourself, or you haven't really thought inward to say, what do I really believe about this? What questions do I have about this? That's when you say, you know what? I don't quite have an opinion on that just yet, right? Then you can go back and look at that and really that moment. Don't feel compelled to answer and allow, what's been said to you over and over again to just freely come out. Stop. Filter that comment and say, what do I believe about that? Right? And feel free to ask them what they believe about that. That's a great way to say, you know what, I don't have quite an opinion about that yet. What do you think? And then let them express their opinion and just be curious about it. Like, let me, does that resonate with me or does it not? Do I need to look into that a little bit more to really look into say what I think? All right, so the key to finding your voice is to start to use it with the things that you know to be true to you now, the things that you know without a doubt that start. Not things that people told you, but the things that you know, that you discovered on your own, that really resonate with you. That's where you start. That's how you start using it. And then you start knowing more about you, about what it is about you you believe, that you value. And that's how you will become that person that right now you're admiring. That person right now that you're looking at saying, wow, that person knows what they're doing. That person knows their mission. That person knows their brand. That person knows what they believe. I want to buy from that person. Right? All right. So that is our motivation for this week. I'm pretty sure that you are right now feeling like I'm ready to start using this, right? I'm ready to start using my voice. And I love that. So I want to know down below, what is one thing, one action step that you are going to take today to start using your voice, to start finding what your voice might be, right? Whether that's researching something, sharing something with somebody, talking to somebody, picking up the phone and calling somebody that you've been putting off for a long time, that you've been a little bit afraid maybe. I want you to start with the things, remember, that you know to be true. Start using those. All right, that is it for us today. I do have one announcement, and that is if you are local here in Southern California, there is a fantastic book study and mastermind that is starting next week. And I have to say, it's going to be pretty awesome. And the reason and why is because this is an opportunity for us to come together to study a book. And when I say study, I don't just mean read. I mean study a book. I mean take the lessons, the chapters, the ideas, and study them, learn them, and then mastermind around them. All these different people together to share their thoughts, to share their opinions on exactly what these concepts are all around, right? And implement them. See how to implement them in your life. See how you can use these things, this knowledge that you're gaining from this fantastic book, right? We read books, but do we implement? Do we truly understand? Do we study, right? And so that is why I know it's going to be awesome. And you should join us. If you are local here, Southern California, it actually will be in near Pasadena. So if you're near Pasadena, then I invite you to come join us. I'll put a link down below in the comments so you can come join us. But it's going to be fantastic. It starts next week. It's going to be absolutely amazing. It's a free copy of the book, which is, are you ready for it? Are you ready? Seriously? Are you ready? All right. It is You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor. It's one of the most amazing books that I've read on money, talking about money beliefs, talking about multiple sources of income, talking really changing and shifting the way that you interact with money, whether that's receiving money or actually giving money, right? And what that reciprocity looks like. Right? So I'm super excited for it. But it's going to be great. I invite you to come join us. So there's a link down below. If you feel like this is right for you and this is something that you want to dive into, then come join us because it's going to be awesome. All right, that is it for us today. Have a great, great rest of your day. And remember to be you and to be amazing. Bye.